Today we'll be covering Dialpad's Digital Engagement Supervisor training. We'll start here at the front end and show you your experience as a supervisor in the Dialpad application, and then we'll do a test chat and show you how to manage that in addition to pulling up historical chats. So here in the Dialpad application you see on the right side of the screen, you'll have your digital engagement and you have your individual agent availability. I'm currently set to available. Once we've selected the digital engagement contact center, we have a series of tabs in the mainframe that we should review, starting with In Automation on the left. The In Automation tab is here to present to you any of your customers that have connected to one of your digital engagement services, but has not yet been escalated to an agent or waiting in the hold queue for an agent. So you can think of this as something like a virtual concierge that you may have built where the customers are going through and asking a series of questions and answering them. You'll see those connections here in the In Automation tab. Moving on to the hold queue, any customers that have reached a point in your flows where they'll be escalated to an agent, but there are no agents currently available, or the agents are currently occupied with other chats and ineligible for a new one, the hold queue will sit here and wait until there becomes an agent available. You'll see those queue up here as well. Moving on to live conversations. These are where you can see all of the chats happening with an active agent and an active customer, what those chats are, and you can manage them. You can whisper in to your agent, you can take over the chats, and we'll take a look at that once we do a test chat momentarily. Then that brings us to the Agents tab. This is where you can see all of the agents that are assigned to this contact center, this digital engagement contact center. And you can see the agent availability. For instance, we have Erica C here who's available. And as a supervisor, you have the ability to change their duty status. So I think she is actually not here in the office, so I will make her unavailable. We can also toggle the do not disturb. So perhaps you wanted to have a conversation with Angela. You could make her do not disturb so she doesn't get any new chats, and then maybe go and have a chat with her, schedule a meeting, something like that. Whatever the case may be, you can manipulate as a supervisor both their do not disturb and their availability. You can also see how long someone's been available. So Lyle has been available for 8 minutes and 11 seconds and counting, so on and so forth. Let me go ahead and turn the rest of these agents off. So currently there is one agent available, and that is myself, Lyle. The final tab is your conversations. So when you are acting as an agent instead of a supervisor, maybe you've taken over one of your agent's conversations, then it becomes your conversation, and you'll see it here in the active tab. You also have a history of previous tabs. What you'll see here is the conversation, any information we have about the user. In this case, we don't, so we just call them guest user. It's a new conversation that hasn't been interacted with, and it came in on the digital engagement web chat service. The only difference between this and say a email channel is that the email would come into your mailbox, and the email will show here that it is an email channel chat, and that's where it came from, but the interface for your agents and you as a supervisor are the same. So let's take a look at what happens when we start a conversation. So understanding that I am the only available agent, I should be getting this chat. You bring your attention to the left side of the screen. I have a test chat here that I will refresh. And this is emulating your customer's experience. Obviously, your workflow will look differently. It will present different vocabulary and body copy, but this is just a quick chat escalation to an agent. Okay, so now our customer says connected to an ACP specialist, and the customer has sent a message. There is a couple of seconds of delay just in the view here, but I also got an alert because this chat has come to me in particular. I have an alert here with an unread message on the left navigation of the Dialpad application. So I can go into your conversations, that is my conversations, and I can see that I have a new chat, guest user, and they've said hi, and it's come in on the digital engagement channel. If I click it, then I can see the history, if there is any history with this customer. Perhaps you've given them a virtual concierge, they've answered a series of questions. That information would be available here for context for your agents. They would be able to see that here in the history as well. And then this is the agent's view, right? They can reply back. How was your day? Whatever conversation needs to happen with the customer. If you bring your attention back to the left of the screen, you can see the agent's response here. And so this is how the agent would be interacting, right? If I jump over here to live conversations, now this is a little tricky, maybe a little philosophically challenging to wrap our head around because I am Lyle, the agent in this moment, and Lyle, the supervisor. So let's put on the supervisor hat for just a moment, and I'm looking at the live conversations of all of my agents. I just so happen to have one here that is talking to Agent Lyle. It's on the web chat channel here from a guest user whose name we don't have, when it started, last updates. I can push a refresh or it'll automatically refresh periodically. But let's take a look at the supervisor view of the conversation. You see it's a little bit more pared down than the actual agent's screen. We can see if I click related conversation, this will show history that we may have had with the customer. Again, this won't always be here. It really depends on your workflows, what the customer has interacted with up into getting connected with an agent, and if they have previously connected and we have that information, we'll present it here to your agent so they have all of that context. But as a supervisor, we just have the history and we can see the chat. If the customer continues to type something, I need help, as a supervisor, we can see the live exchange as it's happening with our agent. Now, if I say, okay, Agent Lyle here needs to respond in a certain way, or maybe Agent Lyle, please notate X, Y, and Z, whatever information you need to whisper to the agent, then you see it does not show up here on the customer's chat here on the left. But if we go back to my agent view, my conversations, you can see that I got a whisper from my supervisor, hidden from the customer. Hey, here's what they're saying. Now, the agents don't have an ability to whisper back to the supervisor, but they could always jump over into the dial pad messaging and send you a direct message if needed. So just be aware that they won't have the ability to directly respond to your supervisor whispers. Continuing on with the supervisor view, let's say that you didn't believe that Agent Lyle is handling this conversation effectively. So what you would like to do is whisper, instead of whispering to the agent, you want to take over that session, and maybe you want to talk to the customer yourself. So I can click take over the session. It's going to give you a warning. The agent will be removed from the conversation. Afterwards, it will appear in your conversations as you're now an agent, right? So I'm not going to click it here because it's already my conversation, but you would be able to take that over and continue the customer conversation and removing Agent Lyle from that. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. And we are going to end the conversation. And the agent is now in Do Not Disturb. So that's really the long and short of the supervisor view inside of the Dialpad app. As a supervisor, you get both the agent view and the supervisor view. You can manage your agent's time. Maybe we need to be on Do Not Disturb here. Maybe we need to make them available or off duty. All of this is done for the supervisors. One of the other supervisory roles that you may need to do is finding old chats. So for that, you would have to go into the Dialpad admin. You would have to be an admin of the Digital Engagement Contact Center. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Once you are into the admin for digital engagement, you can expand the admin menu over here, and you'll have to toggle from essential mode to expert mode. And you see that reveals supervisor. We have a supervisor category here. Once you click on supervisor, you can search for historic chats via a keyword. You can look at a particular agent. Maybe I want to see a chat that Lyle had. Maybe we received a note from a customer about a particular chat that they had with Lyle with this date range of October 3rd to the 10th. Let's go ahead and search that. And I'm just pulling up all chats from this agent on this day. Just change it to here. We'll just pull up all chats for now while that logs, and here we actually see it. Agent Lyle Jones had a conversation today at 2:25 via web chat channel. You can click in and view it, and then you can see the history with the customer just as you would have in the Dialpad application. But now we're looking at historic chats. And that is it for your supervisor training.